Hello, thanks for joining me for another session of Digital Collections Bootcamp. This is Sarah from the Mount Airy branch of the Carroll County Public Library. Today we're going to be talking about one of our new Brainfuse databases that are available. This is actually Brainfuse's HelpNow. To access Brainfuse HelpNow from within Carroll County Public Library's online research collection, you're going to start at the CCPL website and hover over Collections in the main menu, and then under Digital Collections, click the link for Online Research Databases. Once we're here, we're going to scroll down to the Homework and Education category. So right here, and you'll see the second selection in this category is Brainfuse HelpNow. So we'll go ahead and click that link. In order to access HelpNow, you are going to have to log in with your CCPL library card number and PIN. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my CCPL barcode for my library card and my PIN number, and then we'll start digging into HelpNow and check everything out. Let's start by taking a look at the expert help available through HelpNow. There's live tutoring and language help. There's a writing lab where you can get feedback on papers, Skill Surfer, which also includes a learning library, and synchronous FAFSA help. So you can get free online FAFSA help while you're completing the FAFSA. One of the coolest facets of HelpNow is the live help that you can receive, and that's part of the expert help section here. So you can get live tutoring help as well as live language help for foreign language classes. Language Lab is available for French and Spanish, and then live tutoring, we'll go ahead and click there. That includes a whole host of not only grades but subjects. So for instance, if I would like live help, I would go ahead and select the grade I'm in and then as well as the subject, and I would click Get Live Help. If I need that help in Spanish, that's also available. You just click this checkbox and then click Get Live Help. So just as a note, and you'll see on the main page, tutors are available every day from 2 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if there are any notices that they need to make available in terms of when tutors will not be online, they're always going to be in the top here in red. So for instance, you'll see since I'm recording this in the middle of December, that Brainfuse services are unavailable on Christmas Day. So just so you have some information, if you need that live synchronous help right then. So that's a really cool offering, as well as the writing lab. You can get specialized and personalized writing assistance by selecting the document, add any comments you have and uploading it, and then you will receive results, usually within a business day, about your writing. So, if maybe some comments you might add might be the topic of my paper is, or we're supposed to be working on topic sentences, or whatnot. So Writing Lab, it's a great way to get some feedback on your writing, especially if that's something you're struggling with or working to get better at. Also in expert help, you'll see there's Skill Surfer. So let me show you Skill Surfer really quick. I'm going to go back from the main page since that's usually where you come to these things. If I click Skill Surfer, you'll see for all different kinds of grade levels and learning levels, there's a section. For high school, if I expand this view lessons, I can see different lessons for various classes in high school. So if I'm working on geometry, I can click geometry, and it's great. There's all kinds of practice tests. There's flashcards. If I click here, angles in the plane, I can scroll through this information about understanding this topic, and then on the left hand side here it'll track as I go where I am in this topic. So that's really helpful. If I go back to geometry, if I start a practice test, so if I start this test here, later by hovering over your username, you'll be able to see the tests that you've started. So let me show you what that looks like. For instance, earlier I started an interactive quiz in the English reading section just to see what it would do. So you can see right now I have a 10 out of 20. I can choose to retake that if I want, or I can continue and go with where I left off and keep going. but it'll lead me through all these questions, and then I can select my answer. If I get an answer wrong, it will explain to me why I got the answer wrong. So these practice tests are really helpful. And again, it'll keep a list of your tests over here in your account, so you can go back and keep track of how you're doing and how you're improving. And if you got stuck on something, that's a great way to go back and see where it was as well. I'm going to click home one more time. And then if I need other help, either tutoring is not available or I don't want to do the live assistance, I can send a question. And again, this can be grade level and subject specific. I can enter my question if there's a document I want to reference, and I can submit that. And again, in about a day, a tutor will get back to me with the answer to my question, and also I'm sure point me to resources that will help. One of the really awesome things right now that I've seen that's added is right now they're featuring live FAFSA help. So if I click there, and I would select FAFSA assistance. If I click tutoring schedule, this will tell me when FAFSA assistance is available. So right now it looks like it is only Monday through Thursdays, 2 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But now's the time of year, when you're applying to schools, or even if you're a current student, you're needing to adjust your FAFSA, because you might have some financial aid package change. This is great. You can be filling out the FAFSA and get live help. And you would just click get live help and you'll be connected to a tutor. Now I'm doing this outside the tutoring hours, but that is how I would connect. So, it's a really great resource. And again, this skill surfer that I showed you before goes pretty deep into all those sections that you can learn. So it's definitely worth checking out. The study section for HelpNow is really helpful while you're studying your classes. There's a LEAP learning platform. There's a section named Flashbulb, which is a really cool way to interact with flashcards and study terms. And then there's eParachute, which is a module you can use, and you go through and you answer questions that can help give you ideas for future majors and give you ideas about things that you might like in terms of careers. The study section of HelpNow has some really cool studying tools. The LEAP learning platform, right now it looks like it has a lot of information on college readiness and GED courses. But these are actually courses that you can take, and you take a skills assessment, and then after you take that assessment, it leads you through a course and helps you work through what you yourself need to work on. So it's actually pretty cool. So let me click GED Social Studies, Civics and Government. We'll go ahead and click on this. This gives me a little bit of information about the test. So the practice tests look very similar to the practice tests I showed you earlier that was available in the Skill Surfer Learning Library. We'll click Start the Test, and then we'll go through each one of the questions, and we would select our choice, and I didn't even read this question, so this could be totally wrong, and then hit next. And then as I go through, it'll let me know whether or not I've gotten things correct or wrong after it scores the test. So these are just some different things you can switch back and forth. If you want to switch ahead and then keep going, you can do that as well. So this is something we would want to do in this courses, and this is really cool. And then as you progress, it'll actually keep track of where you are in that course. You can view the results of your quiz as well. So that's a really cool offering, the LEAP Learning Platform. Flashbulb, this is, if you've ever used flashcards to study, this is a great way to have sort of a virtual mimic of that kind of studying. I think it's really cool because you can also make your own flashbulbs. So for instance, if we go to geography, you'll see these are different cards that have been created. For instance, I'm going to go to, let's take a look at 50 states and 50 capitals for beginners. So we'll go ahead and click there. So these are cards that have been created, and what you can do is you can go through it the first time. So what is the capital of Minnesota? If I click this, it'll tell me St. Paul. And I can work through my cards by using the arrow key. So first to practice, what is the capital of Wisconsin? It's Madison. So that's one way to practice. But the cool thing is with these different flashcards, you can do all different kinds of games as well. So for instance, if I hit matching, then I'll do a matching game where I need to match these two up. So what is the capital of Maryland? Okay, that's Annapolis. Oh, I matched, so it unrevealed part of this puzzle. So that's the really cool part, is that there's all different kinds. You can give yourself a little quiz and test yourself that way. What's the capital of Hawaii? Here's Honolulu. So it'll pull from the different topics that you have, and there's all these different ways to study. So the flashbulb is a really unique, really cool way to practice and get ready for tests, especially you can tailor that to the way that you like to learn. So that's really neat. And I just clicked home at the top to go back home. And then finally, there's e-parachute. So this is great for kids in high school, or people looking, even somebody looking to change careers. It can give you some insight into what college majors and careers might interest you, just based on some different questions about how you like to work, what kind of people you like to work with. So for instance, what's your people type? So you click Get Started, and then you'll answer and click different answers to some of these questions. Like I said, I'm probably social. Go ahead and click next. So then you're going to go through and answer these questions, and at the end, it'll say you might fit in this kind of a career, or this kind of a job might be good for you. So this is a really cool way to sort of get some ideas as to, and I'm just clicking things here to kind of show you how you move through. And then as you submit, you'll go to different areas. What kind of fields do you like? And you'll click the kind of things that you like to do. And like I said, at the end, it'll give you a list of, possible majors or subjects you might be interested in. So that, that's a really great tool. And, even if you're somebody who's in the middle of your career, it might be a good way to sort of rebalance and say to yourself, how can I grow in this career? What are some other things I might want to learn? So I'm going to go back to home really quick by clicking the home button. So that's the study section of Help Now. So there's a lot of information in there to check out. If you know other people who are also using Help Now, you can engage and work with them as well using their Collaborate tools. There's a tool called Meet and also one called Brainwave. So we'll go through those quickly. So we're going to take a quick look at Collaborate, and this is really most useful if you are working with a few friends, say a few friends, you have a little study group, or you want to get together and collaborate and talk about information. That's where these collaborative tools will really be helpful. They have Meet, so if I click on Meet, you can invite other participants to the Meet, start and end time, and then it'll actually put it on a calendar. You can have like a little study session and meet that way. Again, like this really works the best if you and your friends are also using Help Now. So I'm going to go home really quick. And then there's also Brainwave. So if I click Brainwave, Brainwave is a tool you can use to make little videos about different things you want to learn. So for instance, right now you'll see I haven't created any brainwaves, so I could have and shared them with other people. But if I click Brainwave Library and I searched for geometry, that's something we were looking at earlier, and I hit search, you'll see all these different brainwaves that have been made available. So here's one on angle measures, shape, interior measures, everything. So let's click play. And then you'll see here is a brainwave that somebody created to go through these different topics in geometry. And so I can watch their brainwave go through. You can pause as it goes. And this is going over what kind of angles there are. So these are really cool, neat kind of ways. Just another way to learn. Like I said, you can create your own brainwave and share it as well. So those are just some of the collaborative tools that are available in Help Now. Help Now isn't just for K through 12 learners. There's also a section dedicated to adult learners where you can find test prep information for the high school equivalency test, the U.S. citizenship test. You can also find Microsoft Office help, There's resources about careers and some resume tips, as well as some different sections on lifelong learning. So let's take a look. So here we are. We're going to take a look at the adult learners section of Help Now. Here in the menu, we'll click Adult Learners, and it takes us to sort of a different looking interface here. If I ever want to go back to the main screens for Help Now, I'm going to click Home, and that will take me back to the home screen we've been used to seeing. I'm going to click Adult Learners again. It's a little confusing the first time, that's why I wanted to point it out. And then anytime I click ALC Home while I'm in the Adult Learners section, it's going to take me back to this main landing page. So if you get lost or turned around, this is a good place to start in the Adult Learners section. So as you'll see, there's all kinds of high school equivalency test prep, test practice. You can prepare for the citizenship test. Let's go ahead and click there. So if I want to do that, there's different ways I can do that. I can just click and review study materials. So if I click study materials, you'll see there's a whole bunch of different study materials. If I look at becoming a U.S. citizen, I click on that, and this is going to link me to the Citizen and Immigration Services. I'm going to close that. So I'm going to go back to ALC Home. So prep for the citizenship test. I can also get online help. So this would be another thing where you have to double check the hours of availability. I want to say I think they go along with the live tutoring, but I'm not 100% positive on that one. And then take the test. So if I say take a test, I can actually take some practice citizenship tests. So this is pretty cool. I can click this, and it looks like the other tests we've seen, and go through, and once it scores, I'll be able to see what I got correct and what I got right. So these are some great tools for different kinds of learning situations. And the high school equivalency section is going to look very similar. There's study materials, take a test, and then live online help as well. So going back to the Adult Learners Home, there's also links to help with Microsoft Office. So if I click there, I can get live help and then online resources, and those basically link to some other online resources that are readily available for free. Learnfree.org is actually a free site that I've recommended to people in just a everyday library situation, but they have some really great tools there about how to learn Microsoft Office. There's also little courses you can take about just basic computer things too, how to use a mouse, different kinds of stuff like that. So I'm going to go to ALC Home again. We'll start again. Here's career resources. So here's resources for job seekers. So if I click here, it'll give me a link to all these different job sites. So this is a great place to pull all that information together and then write a winning resume. So here you can get, here's online resources about a resume. You can upload your resume and get input from a writing expert within a day, just like with the writing lab that we talked about earlier. And you can get live help, and the hours there I think are going to follow the other tutor hours. So let's go back and click ELC Home. So here's some more lifelong learning, live one-on-one help, so live tutoring. If I click skills building, this is going to be, if there's a particular skill I need help with, how do I get that information? Writing lab, test center, and then like we did in the regular or the other portion of Help Now, you can also send a question. So, there's a lot of really cool stuff here. This whole adult learner section is geared towards adult learners, people who might be mid-career, people who, might be changing careers out of high school, trying to figure out where I'm going. So, these are great tools for everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of Brainfuse's Help Now that's now available through CCPL. Keep in mind there is also a free app. You can download the app for both Apple devices and Android devices. So enjoy.